And
Oh, look at
yep,
that.
we are live.
We are live.
We're live. I'm sure
Emergency
there's
podcast.
nobody in
Woohoo.
the room yet.
That's
So
okay.
far, so good.
I mean, I did put it out there, letting people know where to find us. So
I did
hopefully
too.
people will show
Hopefully, we'll
up.
see. We'll see on a Sunday, and it's a beautiful day where I am. So
Oh,
people.
not here. It's freezing. Well, for me,
Uh,
it's 39, 40. That's
well,
cold.
yeah, that's because you live on Hoth. So
Well, we've been lucky so far. We don't have any white stuff out there right now. So this is like odd for us. I'm
I
going to be
know.
honest.
Last
Usually,
year,
like by now,
this time last year, I was out visiting you for.
you were
Um,
getting ready to come to me. Yeah,
I
yeah.
know, right?
That's
And you
crazy.
had
We were
we
finalizing.
were worried about the weather and whether I was
Mhm.
gonna be able to come or not, and it ended up being okay.
We were lucky. We were really lucky because you came the day before. Yes,
The
right?
day before snow or the day before oh,
The
I
day
came the day
before the
before the
movie.
movie, yes.
Yes. I still
By the
can't
way,
believe it's been
where's
almost a
my
year.
popcorn bowl?
I had to get that to you. That's why I asked for your address. I have to figure out because I don't even know if I can go in the post office like right now. I don't know how this works.
I
So I
can.
have to figure
In my
out.
in my state, I can. I don't know about
Yeah,
you,
but
though.
I'm in an orange zone right now. Which,
Oh,
a lot of stuff is closed again, like hair salons
yeah.
and things like that. And, so
No
I don't know
biggie.
how that works. I have to figure that out.
It's not like
Um,
I'm missing it.
I know, but I'm gonna get it to you. I'm sorry. It's been a year. Only took a year, but I do need to get that to you. But anyway, let's talk about why we're
That
here.
reminded me of a shirt I got my, son for Christmas. He went for a walk, so he's not gonna hear me, and he's not gonna watch this, I know that. It says, it's for a gamer, and it says, "I'm not procrastinating, I'm doing side quests."
Awesome.
So, you've been busy with side quests, you can't.
I really have been. Yeah. Life in general has been a huge side
A
quest.
huge side quest.
Huge, huge. Um, but anyway, so let's get down to business and why we're here. This is an emergency episode of Kanata's Castle slash Pitiful Little Band Network. If the guys of Idiots Array finish in time, they will, one or two of them or all of them, whichever, will join us. But so it's an emergency episode, nothing but Star Wars. Yes, SNL line, nothing but Star Wars. Don't take my Star Wars away, which it's not going to happen, obviously.
Oh
Huge,
my gosh,
huge
no.
day Thursday. December 9th was Disney Investor Day. And
That
what
was
a day. What a day. Just, oh my God. I'm still like mulling it
I'm
over.
it was yeah, it was like a I can't breathe moment, and then oh, man, yeah.
You're like Anakin talking to Padme. I can't breathe. Literally. That was,
Throw
still
me a
reeling
life
in it.
preserver. I remembered I put that out on Twitter. "Throw me a
You
life
did. That was
preserver. I'm drowning
hilarious.
in Star Wars."
Right? It was just, it's still, like I said, crazy. And then the next day, we get chapter 15, The Believer, um, from The Mandalorian, directed by Rick Famuyiwa. We're just
Familiar?
going with it. If I'm saying it wrong, hopefully someone will correct us eventually. But he's amazing. I mean, the dialogue in that episode was just like,
It's great. Well, but that comedian, he's I'm just hoping a lot of that was just ad-libbed because he's good.
he was, okay, just let's just talk dialogue because I still say, I mean, he was definitely like grilling, drilling, however you want to put it, Din, that's a hard name to say, Din Djarin, Armando,
Jared.
about what it means to be a Mandalorian with the mask.
Oh,
And,
I
if
know.
you take it off and no one's around, does it really count? But if you take it off and someone is around, like,
What's the deal?
what's the
Yeah, what does
deal?
it matter?
What does it matter? And it was funny because he stayed completely silent the whole time, like as if he
I
was
know, I'm
annoyed
like,
by the whole
for a
thing.
minute there, I'm serious, for a minute there, I'm looking at my brother, my son, and I'm like, did they do a switcheroo and just stick a mannequin in that seat?
I
Did
was
he
wondering
just
that too. I'm
is
like,
he, like, not real?
is that really not him in the suit? Like, is it somebody
And
else?
he
Did
just
they totally like
he's
fake him out? Like, yeah.
no, that's what I thought.
It was just,
Oh, he
yeah. And
moved. Okay, he's there.
right. But
Oh,
seriously,
yeah.
this episode for me, or chapter, because they're calling them chapters, kind of like a book,
Yeah.
really had the best lines. Very meaningful, not just for what's happening in the timeline in Star Wars, but it was very real world relatable. Especially that conversation in between the Imperial officer, admiral, whatever he was, a pretty higher up guy. Um,
Yeah.
Obviously, Mayfield, played by Burr, and then obviously Din, played by Pedro. And of course, he just sat there idly by, listening to both of them talk back and forth about Operation Cinder.
I know,
And
I
I'm
went freaked out. My son didn't know what I meant when I was doing that. I'm like, "That's from the comic. That's from,
yeah,
Battlefront too,
yes,
campaigns and from the comic books."
and
Yeah.
from Iden's book. Oh my God, something Squadron. What was it? The
Inferno
Battlefront.
Squad.
That's it.
Inferno
Okay,
Squad,
thank you.
yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, all this, again, let me just say this again. The Mandalorian series is proving that books matter, and not just proving that, but that it works. Um, I was
And that
floored.
that the people in charge are paying attention to them.
Yeah. And it ties it all together. But that conversation, that whole interaction, you know, really played out so well that I did not see that what was going to happen was going to happen. And it
Yes,
was funny
that
because when he shot him and then he looks at him and he's like, well, here we go.
okay, gotta go with that. It's like,
Well, we
well, it
can't
was
stop at one. You got to take them all.
that was just it, that poor sand trooper standing there, he was just getting lunch,
Right.
and
Just
now he's
lunch.
like,
Oh,
"Oh, crap."
yeah. But it was phenomenally done. I had Scarif vibes throughout,
Oh,
only
yeah.
they survived. Totally
Mhm.
different from how we saw it happen in Rogue One.
Yeah.
Um, and then you get the friggin', oh, excuse me,
Well, it was
family
close,
show
but you're
freaking.
okay.
Sorry, I'm all excited. And then we get the seismic charges. Like, oh,
I'm sorry, I'm like, "Rewind that, I gotta see it again."
right. I know. I screamed. I was like, I'm like, well, Mark is gonna love that because Mark was telling me, I just want to see that happen. And he got it. So it was just all the way around a
Yeah,
fantastic
it
chapter.
was.
And okay, and I'm
Just
just
like
gonna
they
say this,
say
the
in my
ending,
kid. Yeah,
the ending, I'm
yeah,
sorry, Moff Gideon had to poop his pants at least a little bit.
a little bit. Yeah, he didn't
Because
look like he was, but that
he
was
looked
yeah.
concerned.
Well,
And he
did
should
he?
be. I think
Ah.
he did. Because
Well,
not
did you
only
notice that the speech that Mando gave him was the exact speech he gave?
bookends, and I love it because the way he said it, he knows that he's coming, but he's
Yeah,
not just coming just to rescue somebody. He's going to take him out. You're going to pay. Because
protect
that's his kid.
yeah,
There's an attachment there. It's not
mhm,
just an asset. This is family to him. You
yeah,
messed with the wrong Mando, period. And I
yeah,
think Gideon's a little perturbed and, like I said, a little scared because the hologram is a message, not just the message, but it's a message saying, I know where you are and I'm
yeah, that's
coming.
scary, yeah.
So
That whole episode was so good. You know, I don't know,
it's crazy.
I mean, Boba Fett is the coolest now. I think he's
And he
my
got a paint
favorite
job.
character. He did.
It's
His
nice and
armor's
green.
beautiful, and it just gives you, Clone Wars vibes, the
Yes.
voice, you know,
They might
and
recognize my face. You
I
think?
know.
You
Yes,
think? There's only how many million of you that look the same?
it's not gonna work.
Sorry. Like I said, the dialogue was, oh, it was great. I just, and that to me is Star Wars. That's the way, again, it's that linking what's happening. Like you can link real world things. Say Star Wars is not political, please. It's always going to be. That's how it
Uh-huh.
began. It's not going away. But again, it makes you really think and it gives you a perspective on moral compasses. And I think that was the
Right.
whole theme of of this chapter, was because the way Mayfield was completely drilling him about what it means to be Mandalorian, he was drilling him about his own moral compass. Like
Yeah,
sometimes people will go against their own rules because, in order to achieve what's best for everybody, sometimes you have to. It may,
right.
and he
He
showed that
was
here.
well, yeah, I mean, he tried it with the helmet on to the scan. I'm like, "Why do you think that's gonna work, first of all, dude? You're
I
smarter than
was
that."
thinking that
So,
too. Like, dude, really? We probably thinking, well, they know the mask, so
nobody's gonna first of all, nobody knows you're the Mandalorian. Second of all, take off the mask, he looks so uncomfortable,
oh, he
but,
doesn't look happy at all without it.
mm-mm.
Very, very
But
vulnerable
I think
without
he's
it.
gonna start learning that maybe, this, way of doing
Isn't
things
really the way.
isn't working.
Hmm.
Yeah, first of all, maybe you can enjoy a meal. Well,
Well,
I'm
and
gonna
here's
lift
the
it up
thing.
under and by the way, welcome Fatmatic to the chat. We have a
Oh, hey,
yeah,
thanks
thank
for
you.
joining.
He says Boba is looking so fresh and clean. Yes, he is.
Yes, he is minty
Yeah,
fresh, all in his
mint
green. I love it. I'm sorry. My
oh,
son is
so
just so
cool.
excited. He just Boba and Django were his two things,
Mhm.
and he always told me that Boba's cool, but Django has the better story. And I'm really hoping at some point that we get that.
I think
Um,
we're gonna get
why
all of it
not?
because they
But
can. Yeah.
things are looking really intense, which is typical because again, we're getting towards the end again, and that's when things usually get really
So who?
intense. Yeah.
Um, there's been some more speculation about who might step in to help. Who did Baby Yoda,
Grogu.
Grogu communicate with? And you and I mentioned, although that show won't be live until Tuesday, I believe. Yeah, the who that might be, and I never thought of Cal.
Oh yeah, a lot of people are mentioning that. I mean, it would work.
Hmm.
I don't know if they're going to do someone that we know or if they're going to pick someone that is new. I'm okay either way because that
Yeah,
message went out. I mean, someone got it.
it
Um,
did. Yeah,
we do know
someone.
from the announcements that Ahsoka, is supposed to return in our series of The Mandalorian too, even though, we will get to
Not
it,
in
her own
not
series.
in series 3 though, or series 3 probably,
They
not in
didn't
2.
really
I know there's
specify.
only one more episode left.
Right. So is she the one that's finally just going to bite the bullet and say, you know what, I'm going to take responsibility. I'm going to
This
go
is the
and
Empire Strikes Back story, so it's not gonna
right.
end well, y'all. I mean, it's not gonna end on a happy ending.
No, I think,
Yeah,
I think they might give us a cliffhanger. I
cliffhanger.
won't be happy about it.
Yeah.
To wait that long, but I can see them doing that to us. It
If
is what
somebody
it
loses
is.
a limb, we have to somebody has to
Well,
lose a limb.
I just need to know that Grogu is okay. They're not
Yeah, no,
torturing him.
Grogu cannot lose a limb, that's not right, no,
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 he's too
no.
tiny to lose a limb. There wouldn't be
No,
anything left. I
no
mean,
limbs off of Grogu, but,
no, not a little itty bitty hair out
I
of
guess
place,
well,
please.
we kinda had a cybernetic implant in, oh, what's her name?
Fennec?
Fennec, so I
Yeah,
don't
she's
know.
got
She's
cyber, like she
got
said, cyborg guts, as I call it, cyborg
cyborg
guts. Yeah, yeah. It's wild, wild.
Thank
Why
you.
not?
It's Star Wars, why not? Yeah, if
Why not?
anything can be
So,
replaced if you're not dead yet.
and as Luke Skywalker said, no one's ever really gone, and
No.
people do come back plenty of times in Star Wars.
Yeah,
Maul, we got Palpatine. You could just
or
keep coming back.
just have
Add a new
electronic parts.
part.
Yeah.
Why not? So yeah, so let's get to why we're
The
here,
meat
our
the reason
emergency
we're here,
episode.
the
So
flood,
like
the
the
tsunami of
flood,
Star Wars.
right. So Thursday, December 9th, Disney Investor Day. 10 new Star Wars projects are now in the works. So, and here I'm going to use a quote here that was from the Vanity Fair article. To date, Disney has released 5 Star Wars feature films in theater and just one series, The Mandalorian, on Disney Plus. By 2023, when the next feature Star Wars film opens in movie theaters, that sounds so weird, movie theaters, Star Wars Rogue Squadron from director Patty Jenkins, that ratio will not only flipped, but just about toppled the scales.
No kidding.
And this is what they're talking about. So let's start with that. So feature film, Rogue Squadron, Patty Jenkins.
Yes,
Patty freaking
Wonder Woman
Jenkins.
director, which that movie's amazing. It was the best movie. Um,
Yeah,
and so I'm like, yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
see this coming. And so this actually
mm,
brought tears to my eyes because, again, a woman directing and writing a feature film
that
for
whole
Star
thing.
Wars.
Well, and her background, which I had no
It's
idea. That
right.
whole
No
trailer was
personal.
so cool. And then she
Oh,
walks off, puts on the jumper and the
oh my
helmet
God,
and
walking
walks towards
towards
an
me.
X-wing, and I'm like, "Ah,
I'm like, look, it's like Devin. Like that's
no!
Devin. But,
Oh, let's
but
get
you
in
know
that
what?
X-wing
There
and
couldn't be
go."
in all,
Ah,
really though,
yeah,
considering the factors of where Star Wars began with George Lucas, there
yeah,
couldn't be a better candidate to do a Star Wars film. And the reason why I say that is, in a way, Patty and George are very similar. Um,
yeah,
think about this. She loves Star Wars, right? Okay. But
right,
she also comes from a family of a pilot, not just a pilot, but, someone who had his own
fighter
military
pilot.
squadron.
Yeah,
And she was there. She got to meet these pilots. She got to see them get their ships ready and, pilot them and all that. So she's very familiar with that. And
mhm,
then to be able to do that combined with Star Wars, it's a match made in heaven. This is something George would have definitely signed on for.
yeah, yeah,
Um, I think we're in really good hands by just knowing
I
what she's
agree.
done. And
Yeah.
I think she's going to really take everything to heart. And I think she's going to make sure a lot of voices that we're not used to are going to get heard. I think it's
I
going to
can't
be
wait for Wonder
phenomenal.
Woman 1984, which is great
Right.
that we'll get to see it, here streaming at home,
Right.
as well as, some theaters, but I just can't wait. I really wanna watch that.
Yeah. So this
Mm,
one alone, because people have been pointing out that in the logo, the actual X-wing that they're showing is an
mhm.
actual sequel trilogy X-wing. So this should be post
After.
sequels, hmm which I think
Really?
is great. That's a fresh slate. So
Wait a
I'm
minute, so
liking that.
Rogue Squadron survived the whole. Hmm,
But that's there. A lot of people are saying if you look at the logo, it is a sequel trilogy X-wing that is in that logo. So that must mean something.
I guess.
So they're assuming that
Huh, I
means
was
post
okay, I'm
sequel
interested.
trilogy.
I mean, alright. I was kinda hoping for other than that, but
Well,
okay.
this is not going to be based off those books. She is going to use that for influence, but those books are not
Right.
canon.
But okay, so sequel trilogy could mean between The Force Awakens and Return of the Jedi.
I would like to say maybe, but I don't think Star Wars wants to touch that era.
Come on, touch it!
I don't think they're quite ready for that.
Oh,
Um,
Luke is
and
in it, come on. Ugh, I want some Luke. Why won't they ever give me some Luke?
I, I know how you feel. Trust me, but I just don't think they're ready to touch Skywalkers or want to touch Skywalkers
I
going
wanna
forward,
touch
especially in films. I know you do.
Ah!
I know, but you
Okay,
have to
well,
keep on where
whatever.
they're. I mean, there's just too much discourse when it comes to that. So I'm actually relieved if they're not gonna. I want them
Look
to
at
take
your
it out of
guy,
that.
it's not fair.
I know. I'm sorry. We have a
Not
lot of Luke
fair.
stuff, though.
No, we
We really
don't.
do.
No, there's never enough Luke stuff.
Well, anyway, we don't really know much about it yet. Everyone's still just speculating, but we know it's coming. It's been announced. So that is our only film that they announced that was in the works. I believe.
Right,
No,
but they
no, they did
no,
mention
yeah,
uh
yeah.
what's his, I can't think of his name. Again, another weird
Ryan
name.
Ryan Johnson's trilogy is
They didn't
still
mention that.
They didn't
Not at
mention
all.
it, but they also didn't say it's not
It's not, but
happening.
they mentioned Taika. Um,
Mhm.
he did a couple Mandalorian episodes, but they mentioned
Right.
him. But again, it wasn't mentioned. I don't count it as official until I hear
Yeah,
it,
I
which
know,
brings
you're
me
right.
to the next thing, which is the Kenobi series. Mm. Oh my gosh. Okay.
You see,
Seriously.
your guy.
Well, it's been a long time for my guy. He's been in the
Well,
shadows.
wait a minute. My guy is on the same planet as Obi-Wan.
This is true. And he's just a
So,
child. So it's possible. So, okay, Kenobi series is definitely coming 8 years after the fall of the Republic and since the rise of the Empire. Hayden Christensen is reprising his role as Darth Vader. So, yes, he's back. It's official. Deborah Chow did say she couldn't uh, go forward with the Obi-Wan story without bringing Darth Vader into the mix. So,
mm,
Hayden Christensen is returning. Thoughts, feelings. You know how
he
I feel.
it's gonna
He's
oh,
hanging
yeah.
here.
Whatever happens. Whatever happens, I'll take it.
Oh,
You know,
Phenomatic said, can you
Ty
pronounce it? Like spell it out
Taika
in
Taika?
Is it
I
Taika?
think I heard Taika. Okay. I even heard Mark Hamill say it the other day, and now I'm
I'm
thinking, "Wait."
so bad with names, but again, the odder the name, the more it fits Star Wars. So
Oh, of course.
it only goes together. The show takes
Taika.
like
Yeah,
10 years after. I thought they said 8. Or am I thinking Mandalorian after Return of the Jedi? See, I think that's where I'm getting them crossed. Taika.
we met the show
Taika.
no, the Obi-Wan takes place 10 years after.
Okay, I thought they said 8. I don't know where I'm getting that from. So 10 years. So that means Luke is 10.
Okay, so he'll be a little boy. Who's gonna play Luke?
Mm-hmm.
Who's gonna play
So
Luke?
any thoughts on Hayden Christensen, Anakin Skywalker, Darth
I don't
Vader
know what we're gonna see. That's just it. Everybody's like, is there gonna be an epic, sword
duel?
battle? Are we gonna have flashbacks? Are we gonna have are we gonna have communing in the Force? Who knows?
I
Are we
like
gonna
this though.
it anything could happen.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Anything.
absolutely. I wouldn't rule anything out. And um, we have to keep in mind, because I know it is about damn time, isn't it? Thank you. Thank you. Yes, more Hayden. Sorry, it's been a long time. I actually wept. Um, so- sorry. Keep in mind, okay, in Obi-Wan's perspective, because let's be honest, when we get any type of Star Wars story, it's based on the teller's or the narrator's narrative's point of view. So in
Mhm.
Obi-Wan's perspective, that um his Darth Vader is his Padawan, is Anakin
Yeah,
Skywalker,
we
not the
haven't
man in
seen
the
him.
suit.
We
We
haven't
have to
seen the
keep
man in
that
the
in
suit.
mind.
Yeah,
Um, so
yeah.
he didn't he at this point that we know of, he has not fought Darth Vader like this. He has fought
So,
Darth Vader crazed, yellow eyes, still in his human form, and then on the beaches of Mustafar without his limbs, and he
yeah,
leaves.
and we
That's
have
how he
Vader
remembers him.
saying, "I feel a presence I haven't felt since." So there's no,
Definitive
definite
dateline when that
dateline
was.
to
Right.
when that was, so they could have met up at some point before he killed him on the
Mm-hmm.
Death Star, you know,
Right.
and we've seen the video where someone remastered that battle and made
Yes.
it look much, much better than, you know,
What we got in A New Hope, but you have
it
to
was
remember
an
that was
old like a couple of old men fighting. I get it. It's kinda hard,
really was. Um,
but,
and that's
it
okay though,
it is
you know.
okay because back then it was in '77. Well,
But
wait,
yet,
that
look
was
at how Darth
80
Vader fought though in The Empire
77.
Strikes Back versus A New Hope. That
I
was
know.
he was
Yeah,
holding back.
he was, and then you see him in Rogue One too in the hallway.
Oh, feisty.
So
Yeah.
so he was a little tired from that maybe, yeah.
He needed a nap, kind of like
He was
Grogu.
worn he was worn out. He needed a nap.
I'm sorry. I do love the whole force nap. I use too much. I get to naps. Let me lay down. I'll be back in a minute. I so love it. But anyway, we're totally going off the rails with that. But
That's
so
okay.
yeah, so Darth Vader, we've talked about this in the past. I do think we're
Yeah.
gonna get, that whole sequence of Obi-Wan going through these motions of denial and then coming back to the fact that yeah, we were wrong. With what we did with Anakin. And he's gonna have a lot of self-blame. I think he really is gonna
Oh, he
take
could
because
totally
you're
oh,
living
show
in
that
exile.
express.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
Absolutely.
he walked away from
His
somebody he
brother.
loved who was, like,
Yeah.
burned alive. I mean, how do you process that?
Well, that's what I'm
Uh,
saying. I think he's gonna go through a lot of, like you said, PTSD, a lot of emotional issues. And I think he is gonna have some things where he has kind of like things, seeing things that aren't there. Just a lot of stuff is going to happen. I think it's going to be a very dramatic series, and I think it should
it
be.
is. It should
Seeing a
be.
broken Obi-Wan, I think we need to see that. And I,
Communing with Qui-Gon, he's gonna do that, I imagine, and maybe
oh,
even Yoda,
absolutely. And yeah.
because
What I
Yoda's
do
still
think,
alive at that point.
what I do think, going back to what you said about there not being a date or
Okay.
a timeline when Darth Vader says a presence I haven't felt since, and it's just trails
Mhm.
off.
Yeah.
Go to Return of the Jedi when Luke is telling his father, you're Anakin Skywalker, you've just forgotten. And he goes,
Mhm.
Obi-Wan once thought as you do.
There's another time. Yeah. So
So,
that could be taken instead of taking that from oh my gosh, I never thought of that. Okay.
and I can't take all credit for this. When I was really in with the Cantina cast eons ago, this
Yeah.
is something Mike Rondo and I would go back and forth on, especially after season 2 of Rebels and that finale between Ahsoka and Darth Vader and her finding out that Darth Vader was Anakin. And we really thought about, there had to have been another time for Darth Vader and Obi-Wan as well. He
Yeah.
couldn't just be always on Tatooine. It's just not in his nature, first of all, to just stay put like that. I know that's his mandate, but it's Obi-Wan, so I do think we're going to see something we never thought we would see. And I think it's going to be spectacular. And like always, some fandom is going to love it. Others are going to be like,
Gonna be
nah, it is what
purists.
it is.
You have your purists that aren't gonna accept
Right.
Obi-Wan leaving the planet if that's something they have him do.
Unless, because I just don't think Darth Vader would go to Tatooine. Not at that point. I just
Again,
don't.
not
I think
no,
the
he's
wound is
well,
too
but
fresh.
he's done it. Okay,
He
we
has.
yeah, but
He did it after Afra or with
after
Afra.
though. Yeah.
Hmm.
So, hmm,
So we'll see.
yeah,
I just think it's great. I'm following Mark Suter with try not to have too many expectations. You'll have a better outcome
better experience.
afterwards, better experience. So,
And that's kind of how we're approaching The Mandalorian
mhm.
because everybody that's well, except for Boba Fett. I mean, everybody that's been a part of it that has been a character we've known before, you know, I guess we really haven't had expectations other than how cool it is to see them. The Easter eggs are awesome.
Oh
And
my gosh.
it's clearly made for fans, but at the same time, it's entertaining enough that casual fans can enjoy it. And then we also have mentioned this before that it puts them in a position to where like, okay, Ahsoka Tano, that's a Jedi, and what's her story? And then they're gonna look her up and they're gonna find there's books, there's the Clone Wars, and maybe they've never seen them, and so they have all this that they can explore
Mhm.
and learn about, and we're creating a whole new fan base.
Exactly. And I think
Mm.
that is the genius of it that they're doing
Mhm.
because those of us that have been around for all of it are like, "Ugh," like freaking out because everything's like connecting, like, oh, and we're just going crazy over it. And then you
Yeah,
get, like you said, these fans like, well, who's this? Who's that? They can Google it and all this information is going to pop up. And now you got people buying things or tapping into things that hasn't really seen
exactly.
much of a movement in a while, and it's going to start moving again. It's awesome. It's awesome to see things actually link cohesively. which we have. This is like the first time that's ever actually really happened.
Yeah.
Um, and I love that because John and Dave and their directors are paying attention and it works. I mean, it's proof that it works. I mean, it's well done. So yeah, so
I think
Hayden
they'll,
is officially back.
yeah.
Um,
Do you think
we've
they'll
got,
try and pull from the Legends book though for Obi-Wan?
I hope they do at least some. Um, I liked it. I think John Jackson Miller is excellent in a lot of ways. He's a wonderful talent when it comes to writing, especially when it comes to just character stories. And this
Yeah.
one, Kenobi was really, really well done.
Yeah.
Um, I think they could pull things from it that wouldn't, damage what we have as canon now. Um,
Yeah.
but we have to see. I don't know what Deborah Chow plans on doing. I really, from what we've got from her, what I gather from it is that it seems it's going to be more fresh and more her ideas, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes. But right
Yeah.
now, I'm
But
just
her ideas
excited.
have to pass the story group.
Correct.
Everybody's
Correct.
ideas have to get past them, right?
And
That's
make
my
sure it
understanding.
fits. Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
But again, I'm just glad that Hayden's back. So good
Yes.
for him. The next
Good
thing
for
I have listed
him.
is the Bad
Yay.
Batch sizzle reel.
No more oh, no more Luke. All right, Bad
Sorry.
Batch. Okay. So here we get more Fennec. So we're gonna get some backstory on her, which I
Oh my
think is
God, I'm so happy that I spotted her. That was
she
awesome.
she's in the cartoon, she's in the Mandalorian, so
Hmm.
that's awesome. I mean, that it it takes place during Revenge of the
It's going
Sith?
to happen at this. It's going to run concurrently with the events of Revenge of the Sith
Okay.
and the Rise
Okay.
of the Empire. So it's going to. So basically, it
So it's a
continues starting
limited
from Clone
series
Wars.
then, I'm
Hmm.
assuming.
And they actually said it's a continuation from the Clone Wars. So where the
Oh,
Clone Wars leaves
okay.
off,
Where
this
they
is
left
going to pick
off.
up.
Okay, that's cool.
It is very, very cool. And like I said, I mean, it was again, the animation was extremely cinematic. The
I see
chills hearing
Tarkin
the
in
Emperor. I
there.
know. I was like, wow. I mean, seeing these characters, even in animated form, whatever, you know,
Yeah.
talking, breathing again is just crazy, because I think a lot of us just aren't done with that era,
Mm-mm.
where the prequels end and where our original starts up. I think we're just not done with that era. Like there's a lot of us that really want to be there still. Um, where I think a lot of us are done with the original trilogy area, or because they keep doing comics in that era. I think we're done with
Well, that
that. We
was
want to
the
see the in
right.
betweens.
The prequels was the well, I wanna say romantic era, but
It's true. No, it
it
was.
is. It was the romantic era of
Hmm.
the whole story.
Sure.
And,
I agree with that.
and I can't wait to see what they do. It's gonna be so much Star Wars.
Yes. Yep. My son is just tickled pink over the Bad Batch being back. So, but that's his Star Wars, like right there. So
Mhm.
he's excited for it. And it looks great. Like I said, the music, the imaging, everything looks wonderful. So I'm excited for that. Then we're getting, which I was laughing because it's something that Mark Suter always tells me, that he really wants a droid movie.
Me
Well,
too.
they're going to get it.
Not a
Droid's a
movie.
Star Wars story.
It's a series,
It's a
but it's
series.
animated.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. So it's going to be R2D2 and C3PO are on a new adventure, basically. So I think that's awesome.
So they're
I
just
think
gonna
it's going to be fun.
that's cute. It's gonna be cute.
I mean, you got to have these two in something, right? I mean, I'm hoping they bring Anthony Daniels in for this because why not? He loves doing it.
Uh,
Um, and they are the original storytellers, the way I look at it, of
yeah,
Star Wars.
they've been
So
it
they
from
know
the
everything.
beginning,
And why not
and
do a
R2
series
was in
following
it
them?
at the No, he wasn't. That was BB-8. I keep thinking R2 was with Ray and R2 wasn't with Ray.
No, BB-8 is with Ray at the end. Yeah.
I wanted
Um,
to see R2 with Ray at the end, but okay. That's okay. I just
That's
think you should have
okay.
ended it with R2 because that's where it all started. Help
Yeah,
me,
but not for
Obi-Wan.
her. She
True.
started with BB-8, so they kind of
Yeah,
bookend it.
I
Um,
guess. Anyway,
yeah,
we're going
anyway.
off track here.
Yes, we are.
So,
So we're gonna
number
have a
5.
droid.
Oh, I thought you were going to
Nope,
5.
nope. We can go to the next one. So we have, which I know you're excited about. At least you have said you are. I am too, actually. This to me seems like their baby at the moment. So coming out of the
Oh,
High
coming out of
Republic
the High
era,
Republic. So,
yep, we
yeah.
have the Acolyte, which is the mysterious series that we all heard teased about. Oh gosh, probably midway of this past year, about the mystery thriller of a woman led Star Wars series uh, directed by Leslie Headland, who's done Russian Dolls. So this
Okay.
is going to be hers. And I think this is something that's definitely going to, because I know people are like questioning, are these actually all going to happen? Because, they'll announce things and then you don't hear anything. This one, I'm going to
Mhm.
say yes, because
Okay.
this era right now, they're really promoting with the books. Um, they're really
This is
putting a
gonna be a
lot.
dark side character,
This
I'm
is going to be
assuming.
more of a dark side type series, yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the Acolyte is all we know. That's what it's called, and it's going to be basically a female-led series. Oh, and Fenematic said that he's pretty sure Anthony Daniels is doing the voice. So
Oh,
awesome.
for the Droid series,
Yes,
awesome.
and I'm
Yeah.
hoping because it would make sense. Um,
Yeah.
but yes, the Acolyte, I'm hoping for some Night Sister action in this. Really, 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 really hoping. Because that's something I would like to see more of. I don't think we have enough of Night Sister stuff. Um,
Oh, speaking of Night Sisters, the woman that Ahsoka fought in the episode where she was in on The Mandalorian,
the Seventh Sister.
some
Oh
were
no, sorry, the
speculating that
Magistrate.
she was, a, I'm sorry, it just left my brain.
I'm
Night
sorry, I don't.
Sister. That
Oh, a Night Sister. They're actually thinking she's um Bug. I think they're thinking or that Night Sister. But you know what? In that story that Dave Filoni's wife wrote, and the description of the magistrate physically doesn't fit either one of those
oh,
characters.
I haven't read that yet, so I don't know.
So I'm gonna have to go with probably not, but that doesn't mean she's
But it
not
doesn't mean she
somehow
couldn't be one. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that
Mm.
she's not, but I don't think she's from that specific story is what I'm going with. So because
Right.
people
Oh,
were
okay.
hinting at that.
Yeah.
But we don't know. We don't know anything yet.
I know.
All
I
we
don't
know
know
is that she
anything
has some
about
tie to Thrawn.
that's it. Yeah, alright.
That's
So
it.
anyway, uh, I think that that's gonna be so cool. Every people, need a Sith backstory, basically, you
And it's a
know?
clean slate. I mean, it's an
Yeah, they
area
do
that we have
anything.
not seen.
Yeah.
We're going to all start reading it. I mean, I've just started, in that era because I've got some, you know,
You got it, but they
advanced
haven't come
copies.
out for us yet, have they? Yeah.
No, I've got this
When
one.
do they come out for,
These
the
are
rest of us?
in these are coming out in January.
Okay.
The one I have on e-reader is by Charles Soule. That one actually comes out, I want to say the next couple days. Um, that you can start, getting
Because
and
I'm totally
downloading
fine.
whatever. But I haven't come close to even finishing yet because we had so much else going on. But anyway,
Yeah.
it's a new era, so I think it's nice. But this also means that Leslie's going to have to work hand in hand with these authors
Yeah.
and make sure that
Yeah.
these stories, because if she's going to be
Gotta
in that
link up.
era, exactly, it's got to
People
be
are really
connecting.
sticklers about that. We all are.
Hmm. So I'm excited. I'm really excited
Yeah.
for new Star Wars stories, because it works with the Mandalorian. It's new. Yes, it connects with things we already know, but I think that's the thrill of it. Is give us something new, but give us a little bit of breadcrumbs so we can make those connections and be like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, and just makes it that much more, and more meaningful. Because when you can connect all those stories, it makes it feel like it is one whole universe, one whole story. doesn't
Mhm.
feel out of place. So I'm got high hopes for the Acolyte. I really do. And again, it's dark. We don't really have too many dark centric anything,
No.
really, if you think about it. So interesting stuff. All right. And you know I'm
Mm.
excited about this one. We're getting a Lando spin-off series
Lando.
from Dear White People creator Justin Simon.
Simon
Justin Simon.
Simmons, Simony. I don't know.
We'll go with Simon.
Anyway.
So obviously it's going to follow Rogue, our Star Wars Rogue Lando Calrissian. They're saying the character was played by Donald Glover in 2018 Solo Star Wars Story, but it's unclear at this
Yeah.
time if Glover will be returning for this series. So we're not sure yet
Yeah.
how that's going to go. We don't know anything. It's very it was announced. That's it.
Yeah. I don't know how it's
So
gonna work.
I don't either,
We
but I'm
we
excited
already
for it.
it'll be cool if they can get Glover to do it. I don't know.
Yes.
We'll see.
See, I don't know if I want stuff on him
Another
before Solo a Star
yeah.
Wars Story, or if I want more of him after. Like, I
I'd
don't know
like
where
to
I would like it to start.
yeah, or what if it happens after I don't know.
Because I kind of would like to
What if we
see it.
get, like, the Battle of Tanabs? I don't
Right. Well,
know.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, I also
This
wouldn't mind, like I said, if it
rebellion
happens
thing.
before Solo a Star Wars Story, because that gives us an opening to get some Kira in there with him, because
Yeah,
there's
you're right.
history there.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind that.
Mm.
So, like, again, though, this is an open slate. There is still a lot that can be done here. As much as I would love to see more Billy D, I think it makes more sense to go with Don because he's just, we can get more from him being he's a
Yeah,
younger actor.
I
It's
think
not,
it'll be
I mean,
yeah, if
it
they
is what it is,
try and recast that, I don't know how it's gonna go over. We'll
I
see.
mean, you know what would be cool though is to start it off seriously.
Mhm.
It's just a thought.
Yeah.
Again, it's speculation. There's nowhere anything is written, but it would be cool to have it start off with Billy D going through the Calrissian Chronicles, and then
Yes.
it goes into the story.
So they could have Billy D
Just
do a
sitting there
cameo going
yeah,
through his stories, and then
Donald
Donald
actually
playing
playing it
his
out.
younger
Right.
self, doing the that would be a cool
hmm
concept.
I think that would be
You
neat
know
to do
what?
that.
Lucasfilm, you can hire Becca,
I'll do it for free.
Don't do it for
And
free.
that's just because I thought that whole little moment was so cool.
It was.
I
I mean,
wanted more.
yeah, he's blogging or
I
vlogging.
He's
Yeah.
the original podcaster. That's how I look
Yeah.
at it. He's podcasting Star Wars, I
Uh,
think that was so cool. But yeah, so Lando series, bring it on. I am all there for it. I mean, L3, there's a possibility there with that too. We could see her again. I would love it.
more of her, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's
Uh,
a lot of
there's a whole
opportunities.
galaxy you can I mean,
Exactly.
it could be all about his Cloud City thing. I mean
Exactly. There's a lot you can do.
I
So,
know. Yeah. Yeah.
so speaking of a lot we can do, we have what we've been talking about for a while, the Andor series, and this logo
Yes,
is
indoor
freaking
stuff.
cool.
I
Uh,
know.
and we got a little bit of a sizzle reel. We know that Andor
Okay.
and Mon Mothma are leading this one.
Yeah.
Um,
They've been working on this already, so
yeah, they have.
yeah.
So this is set to start in 2022. That's when we should start seeing this series. So
Really? I thought that was sooner.
no, they're going to do Kenobi first. Kenobi's first, then this.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm okay with that.
So Kenobi is a limited series.
It's going to be 6 episodes, right? But still, think about
Okay,
that.
like a mini series.
Right, but think about that. That's like 2 movies.
Yeah. That's still
I
cool.
It's
So they're gonna
extremely
do
cool.
so the Andor series is gonna be more like the Mandalorian, I'm thinking.
Mhm.
Okay, right?
And it's before Rogue One, obviously, because no one makes
Right.
it past Rogue One. So he's been in this fight since he was 6 years old. So that leaves the
Well,
door
yeah,
right
but he gave him
open.
6.
Right, but they
But
could start it
still,
there.
there's a lot
They
of
can
cool stuff
show
going on there, yeah.
right, but they could show how he got into this at that
Early
stage.
days of the rebellion and
Mhm.
all of the things, so
There are
we could run into, oh, who am I thinking? Early days of the rebellion. You've got Ahsoka and, um right?
Bail Organa, there's
Mhm.
Leia, I mean,
Yeah,
there's a lot, we
there'll be
definitely know
some
we're getting
cameos.
Mon, we're getting Double M,
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
she's gonna be in it. There's a lot you can do. I'm hoping we get a little bit of Hera because she's definitely very
Yes.
prominent at this time.
Maybe
So
we'll get to
General
see
Syndulla,
General Syndulla and,
little Jason,
little Jason.
K2SO, yes.
K2SO, yes, I more
I would like
K2SO,
to see
please. I'd like to
that
see when he
whole
acquires him
reprogramming.
and
Yeah,
reprograms him. Wouldn't that be cool? That whole
that would be. Because
story.
he was. Uh, I never really cried over a droid until that moment.
Me neither. I was like,
So yeah,
"No."
he was great. I mean, the acting in this, and I still go back to it.
How'd
People
you know
don't
that
like
wasn't me? Sorry.
right, exactly. But Rogue One for me still is probably my favorite Disney Star Wars film, and I know it
Yeah,
ends so on such a dismal note. I get it, but that to me
sure.
was Star Wars. I
It
mean, a
was.
victory doesn't
Yeah.
happen without sacrifice. I mean, that even
Yeah,
happens in real war. You know what I mean? Their
yeah.
mission was just to retrieve that data. It didn't matter if they retrieved themselves. It was got to get that data, got to get it to the rebels. Period. That
There
was
you
it.
go.
That was their mission. They succeeded. It cost their lives, and that's devastating. But you know what? Their legacy didn't die because we know this from Alphabet Squadron. Chaz looks
Mhm.
up to Jin,
He's all
not
looked up
Luke.
to Chin.
Jin.
Yeah,
Jin.
yeah.
Jin is the hero, and I think that's phenomenal. So I think we're going to get, the really hearing about the Death Star, really hearing about the Empire, trying to figure out what's going on with that. I think we're going to see so much, and I really do think there's room here to get Bail Organa, get Jimmy Smithson on this. Please do that.
You can
Um,
do it. Mhm.
I'm sorry, I do love him, and I just think he would make this series really. I just do, and I think Hera, get Vanessa in there. Seriously, she did
She's
the mocap
there.
for the game.
There,
She's
yeah.
there. She's available. She looks
The
like
leader,
Hera.
General Merrick. Yes, Fatmatic.
Oh,
He's
mustache.
like the hero
Yes.
general. Mustache man.
There you
Oh,
go. Yeah. See, in this
oh.
time frame, he still
Ginger
lives. I
Stash
mean,
man. Yeah, he's
Ginger
still alive.
Stash.
Oh, I
So
need
there's a
some
lot
General
we're going to
Merrick,
see.
please. Yeah, we need all
And
that.
Andor, I'm going to be honest, like Cassian, he, there's just something that gravitates you to him. I mean, you
Yeah,
feel him,
yeah,
you
I'm
feel
really
such
liking it.
empathy.
Yeah,
So I do think this is a smart move. And again, we get to see the inner workings of this because we're going to see why why their system at the time worked and why they were able to win, but why it's in like how we're seeing it now with the Mandalorian, how the New
yeah,
Republic, why it doesn't work.
yeah.
Okay. But again, I mean, there is bad stuff happening on both sides. And I'm going to say this is because, again, tying in with books, working with on screen, um, in The Mandalorian, we get to see that the Imperials aren't the only ones with prison camps. The New Republic has it too.
I
Um,
well,
and we only read about this, like we read about it in Alphabet Squadron, that we
yeah.
know that the rebellion has prison camps. They also have therapy for those that leave the
It's like
Empire.
reprogramming
Right.
camp,
Yes.
basically, so
It happens on both
on
sides.
both sides. So, yeah,
Be like DJ. Don't join.
don't join.
Sorry. Just saying. And yes,
Well,
being a spy is very dirty business. I mean, everything he's done for
I
the
know
rebellion.
we've just seen a small little bit of, you know, the tough choices that Cassian had to make in the
Yeah.
beginning of Rogue One
Yes. It
by
wasn't
having
pretty. I was
but that
shocked.
guy was, he was panicking and like, "I don't have time for you to panic," but he handled it in a kind way, I guess is all you could say.
If you want,
So,
I
this
would say he
is
handled it in a very
why
calm.
he
He was,
he
yeah,
kept the guy calm by making him believe that he was gonna get out of there,
yeah,
and then he shot him. So, that was a
very deceiving.
but I can imagine that when he says, th that's something that keeps him up at night,
It is.
he
Mhm.
can't resolve with himself,
And that's something
because
that
he had
Mayfield says in The Mandalorian. If you can sleep, if you can feel okay with yourself and make it through the night, then you're doing something right.
yeah.
So if something's
ITO.
keeping you up at night, you know you're not doing something right.
What is
So there you have it.
what is ITO? I'm sorry, I'm blanking. Fatmatic wrote
ITO.
ITO. Is that a droid?
Ido? Oh, I think that's Alphabet Squadron. I'm
Oh,
pretty sure it
yeah.
is the her Quell's therapy droid.
Oh, that's right. Duh.
See, again, it's all connecting. I love it. So
Yeah, well,
okay,
he
so
ended up not being a good.
right. So we have that series. Now here's the big one, and I know you really want to talk about this. And 8 and 9 that I have listed here actually go together.
Okay,
That is the Ahsoka series and Rangers of the New
Republic.
Republic. They're going to actually, according to what was said, the Rangers and
Those are
Ahsoka are
the
direct
guys.
spin-offs of the Mandalorian.
Yeah, those are the guys that saved, or the 2 guys that saved Mando from the spiders,
So you're
and then
talking
one
about Wolf
they're the
and
Rangers.
Wolf
Ma
and what's the other guy's name? Oh my god, I can't think of his name. It's gonna drive me nuts. Of course, I would think of Wolf because that's Dave Filoni.
Because
Um,
on the side of their ships, someone had noticed, I don't know if it's a symbol or it's written, that it was New Republic Rangers. So
yes.
it's on their ships, and, that was their job, and so he was the one that gave, holy cow, he gave her the marshal badge.
Oh yes, and I can't think of his name. I know it's Wolf and I want to say Carr, but that's not right.
Anyway,
Hang on, I have a cat that wants to leave my room. Be right back.
pi live podcasting, this happens. At least I locked the dog up, so he can't bother me. I was just saying, at least
Okay.
I put my dog in the kennel so he wouldn't bother.
Well, he was sleeping. He was fine, but now he's like,
Oh,
"Mom,
but,
I want to
when
go."
they wanna go, they have yeah, there's
They
no
want to
stopping.
go.
No.
And that's fine. But yes, so I can't remember. It's gonna drive me crazy now. But anyway, so they're gonna run concurrent with the
I know.
Mandalorian, which I think is
Okay,
smart.
this is a big, TV thing they do now anyway with, like,
Yes, with
there's a show
series,
about firemen or in Chicago, and then they have the policemen in
right?
Chicago, and sometimes they overlap their stories. Um,
I think that's a good idea, though. I mean,
so I used to watch Chicago Fire, and I think there's a Chicago PD, but anyway, I
mhm.
used to watch Chicago Fire all the time, and they would cross over the story, so I think that's a cool thing if they do that, yeah, that they
And
cross it
I
over.
here's the thing, and I had a feeling this was going to happen, um, because what we get in that chapter with Ahsoka, and the magistrate, they have their own beef going on, right?
Yeah,
Separate from what the story is actually about. And you
right,
hear her mention, "Where's your master? Where's Thrawn?" I
right.
think that's the meat and potatoes of Ahsoka. Is I think
That's the spinoff for her show,
right.
right?
I do
Yeah,
believe that that's the one. Instead of going animated, for those that really want to animate, I think that's the one where we're gonna get Ahsoka eventually lining up with Sabine, going to get Ezra and bring him
mhm,
home. That is that. I wholeheartedly believe that. That's where that's going to lead to. So,
and
and I'm
then
down
you
with
got
it.
the Ranger. Yeah, all that
Yeah.
could overlap,
Mhm.
with
Why
Ahsoka
not?
being the fulcrum. Um, huh, it's all cool.
It is all cool. All of
Well,
it. As of right now, it all looks great on paper, right?
actually,
Um,
no, that was after that.
what's
Her
after what?
fulcrum was before. Well, if she goes off to look for Ezra, that's after. the,
After what?
end of the war. So,
That was right. That's what I'm
yeah,
saying. So I think this
yeah.
series will end with that, is what I'm saying. I think that'll be what her quest is, so to speak.
Oh,
I think
right.
it'll end there. It's going
Okay.
to run concurrent with the Mandalorian, but as we go on, the Mandalorian is going to go into how many series or how many seasons? We don't know. Right now, it's approved for season 3, but will there be a season 4? I don't know. And the reason why I say that, there's something people have to look at is these episodes aren't called episodes; they're called chapters. And if they're
Yeah.
doing that, they're doing it for a reason. A book typically doesn't go past 40 chapters, a novel.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think it makes sense to have four seasons. By then you'll be right around 40. I think that's where this will end. So I think that's how they're doing it, because they are doing a book, which we know Adam Christopher is
Uh-huh.
doing the Mandalorian season 1 novelization.
Okay.
And that should come out in 2021. So I think that's why they're doing it in chapters, not episodes. I think Ahsoka will be written the same way, because I think this will eventually work itself into a novelization form too as well. Because why not?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Well,
but that's just what I.
it's going over the next 3 years, so, so much to
Mm-hmm.
look forward to.
Exactly.
And holy cow, you gotta go back and watch them again. I need
Well,
to.
that's just it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things you don't notice on the first watch. I know
Mhm.
I don't. I have to go on back and calmly rewatch
Now,
everything.
yeah, my son's like, "Shut up, mom, I can't hear what he's
That's
saying."
my son too. Same thing. Yep. Just shut up and watch. Why do you have to sit there and explain everything? Okay, sorry. It's like you're not on your podcast. Like I know.
I'm
So, so it was true. I can't shut up.
I
Um,
couldn't either, and my
it's bad.
both our kids would probably, if they got in the same room together, "Our moms, right?"
Exactly. It's like, dude. Yeah. So the last thing I have, and I'm actually excited about this. I don't know why it's taken them this long to actually do it. So we were getting Star Wars Visions, which is going to be an anime centric. It's an anthology collection of short films set in Star Wars universe from 10 different Japanese animation creators, which will
Wow,
debut in 2021. I think this is going to be
too cool.
awesome, because again, you're going to bring in another fan base, which is
Yeah,
anime has a huge fan base. I am not part of that fan base, but I'm just saying it does have a huge fan base. This is going to bring those that have never really been into Star Wars, bring them into Star Wars.
yeah.
I think it's smart. I think it's
The
smart.
Galaxy of Adventures,
Has a
cartoons,
little bit of that to it.
they're very anime, and I really like them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there has been, some Star Wars anime out there. There's also been Star Wars manga out there, which is
Yes. Yes.
and so, Star Wars isn't everything. I'm kidding. There's Star Wars Shakespeare. I mean,
Right. Right.
you
Oh
know,
my
it
gosh.
has been translated to just about every medium
So it
there
just
is.
makes sense to me to do this.
Yeah,
I'm actually very excited for it. Again, like I said, it's just about bringing more into our fandom. The only thing that worries me is how some of our fandom can be, especially like online. We have to be a little more welcoming. Um, we tend not to be to those that think differently
don't
from
go so
us.
deep, y'all.
Um, you know, Star Wars is for everyone.
Everyone,
Um,
holy cow. I mean, what? You and I maybe have 40 years, if that,
oh yeah,
and, this is
easily.
a whole new generation.
Um, like Pete was saying from around the galaxy, like all this new Star Wars is well and good, but it makes you wonder and feel kind of awkward and sad at the same time, thinking I'm
What are you
probably
gonna
not
do?
going to be around for it all.
You're not gonna be
Like,
I've been saying that for 10 years now.
and he's like, that's a scary thing. I'm thinking, yeah, because we've been around, and that's just the way it works. You know what I mean? Yeah, I do believe it's going to be here for a very long time. It'll be here after we are no longer here. Um,
Definitely.
and
I
that's
mean,
crazy
we
to
now
think
have
about.
a Disney parks and, all of that as well.
Mhm.
and,
But you
crazy.
have to look at it this way too. Star Wars is not going away. This just gives us that much more juice to do this.
Oh, yeah.
You
We can
know,
do
we have a
podcasts
podcast
until we're
still.
little old ladies.
Oh my gosh. Bring us more content so we have things to talk about. The only issue I have with that is that I'm losing sleep over it. I know I'll never be able to get to do it all, which will put me behind. And I don't know why that, like, it really
Don't
freaks me
stress.
out.
Just
It's
one day at a
stress.
time.
Very stressful.
She was she's Star Wars is making her stressful, you guys. No, that
You should
shouldn't be
see it.
happening.
You can't see it off camera, but to the right of me, I have a stack of
A book.
books that I haven't touched yet. It's really sad.
You'll get there. You'll
Um,
get
I don't have the time. And it's Christmas time. It's Christmas
I know.
time. I'm baking cookies. If you've been following me on Twitter or on my Instagram, you'll see cookies everywhere.
Cookies
Um,
everywhere. She's
it's
busy.
yeah. You know, because we're moms. We're moms at podcasts. It's not the same as if we were the dads. The dads at unless you cook, which I love
Let
hearing
you have
men
to.
that bake. I think
Yeah.
that's phenomenal because I wish my
So
husband
is
did it,
your
and I
Christmas
would just be the
cookie guy.
taster. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, no. But I am grateful that our husbands are really
Oh,
good
thank you,
about this.
Fatmatic. He said we have an awesome podcast. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, wait, because I know he said in the beginning it's about damn time. So I did pull this out and I meant to hold this up before. Yay! We get to see them again.
Dun, 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 dun,
Right?
dun.
Exactly. And even Tracy Canabio, everyone knows who she is. Awesome
Yeah.
at Lucasfilm there. She messaged me on Twitter back when we were, Hayden was announced. She's like, "Isn't it about time? Like, aren't you freaking out?" I'm like, yes. Like,
Yes. Well,
I'm
that should
crying.
have been your Twitter.
Right?
The one that
Well,
the
I
one that I
did.
put out, you should have put out,
I did.
Becca
I
Benjamin is
sang.
not available right now because she's running around the house screaming and flailing her arm.
I actually posted when it was announced that my boyfriend's back and you're going to be in trouble. And if you see
I
him
know.
coming, you better cut it on the double.
Kayla, Kayla, my
It's true.
boyfriend. You are.
I'm just so excited.
Well,
I'm
we'll see
trying
who
not to
my
have
boyfriend is
expectations.
somewhere with fleas. I don't know. It's like
We'll get Luke. I mean, eventually they're going to have to go back and give us Luke's Jedi
I know.
Order.
I was hoping I was gonna get something Lukish,
Well,
but I
hold
don't
that thought. I'm going to bring this up for you because you want to talk Luke. And I know you're just like, I want Luke.
there's
So
Luke.
here's my thought to you. If they're going to do this Ahsoka series, okay,
Mhm.
if what they say is true, we're going to get her. And like I said, I think, and it's probably not true anyway, that her mission will be to find Thrawn so she can bring Ezra home. Right? Okay.
Right.
Here's my thing. If you're going to bring to the fandom an Ahsoka live action series where she's leading the way, give us closure. And that closure is not just for us, but for her character. Give her the closure the fan base wants to see, and that is bring her to Luke Skywalker.
Yeah,
Let her
make a
have her
story about
moment.
Anakin.
Right.
Yeah,
Let her see that her master lives on through the extension of his kids. Let her know that that goodness is still there. The
yeah.
light is still there. Let her tell, especially, and I think it's as much as I want Leia, and I love you. You know how I feel about that. I
Mhm.
do feel it's more important that Luke and Ahsoka meet
Yeah.
versus Leia and Ahsoka. I
Oh, and
do
you
feel
sent
that.
that comic panels that somebody made.
Yes, where she has the breakdown.
Yeah,
And because he
does need
tells her Anakin came back to the light. I saw it with my own eyes. I saw him come back to the light and she breaks down crying because she knows he's no longer this dark entity. He is where
yeah,
he
yeah.
needs to be. And I think she needs to hear that. And not just from anybody. I think it needs to be Luke. Again, though, the problem that they run into is that Mark Hamill cannot portray a young Luke. So they're going to have to find somebody, but they also have proven to us that they can CGI a Luke and a
If
Leia,
it's
a
allowed
younger
yeah,
version.
if Mark will allow it, you
Hmm.
know. because
He could still do the voice. Why not? It's still his
still do
voice.
the voice. They could,
Mhm.
we'll see. Or like I've said, Sebastian Shaw could play him because
It would work.
it's very similar. I'm
Hmm.
okay with them recasting because I think that they've shown that they can do it well.
And especially a younger Luke. You can't have Mark. I mean, you just know
You
you
can't. He's not
can't.
gonna. He's no. He's
No,
the old Luke
it would
now.
have to be somebody else, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
You know,
me too. I want Luke Skywalker. I don't. I'm not necessarily, saying that it has to be Mark Hamill. I mean, I want Luke Skywalker, and
but
and they've
right
done him well in
in the games,
the games. Gosh, I
he's
couldn't think of
beautiful.
that word. So I'm okay. They did him, and that wasn't even Mark's voice.
Right, is close.
So
So,
yeah,
that's just it. I mean,
yeah,
I just feel if you're going to give us Ahsoka, and that is a Dawson's got some big shoes to fill with that character. We are used to what
yeah,
Ashley has given us and the creatives have given us because they've drawn her. But
yeah. But
Ashley would put her own heart into that. There's a
right?
lot of Ahsoka that Dawson still needs to bring forward into live action. That's like I said, that's big shoes to fill. I'm just saying it is
It
because
is,
we all
but
have our
it's
own.
got it's got Dave's blessing on it.
It
He wouldn't
does, and
he
Dave
wouldn't
will
let
be.
it
It's going to
happen.
be Dave and John,
Yeah.
absolutely.
He wouldn't
You
let it
know,
happen if he didn't want it
right.
to. You know what I
And
mean?
here's the thing: we have to keep in mind if you read the long, very long article
I didn't.
with Vanity Fair on
Okay,
it was very long with Dawson and Dave Filoni on Ahsoka and how that came to
okay.
be. George, that was the day George Lucas was on set for The Mandalorian. He was there
Right.
specifically to see her come to life.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
He told me this, yeah.
that was huge. I mean, George had to see it. Dave wanted it. This is what I'm saying. Dave wanted it done right. So he brought in George. I think that's goes to show you that respect level,
Of course.
that George knows these characters, especially if they're his. And Ahsoka's one of them.
Yeah.
And I know we've talked about this about the paying out, who would get paid if they're not George's characters or if they are. This is one of George's characters.
I
Don't
know.
ever think that Ahsoka isn't. So the big man has to be there. That being said, again, I just feel that there's a lot weighing on that character. And I think people will expect, not that I want us to have expectations, but people will expect that meeting. People have done fan art of Ahsoka meeting Luke, of Ahsoka meeting Luke and Leia and baby Ben. It's out there.
Yeah.
It's out
But
there.
I'm still, we've talked about how if you don't hear anything and if there's silence about a certain character, then you know something's happening. And then we got all of this stuff and still nothing, that says the word Luke Skywalker, the name Luke Skywalker
No,
is not in the list. And I am a little disappointed.
I know,
Little.
because
I'm
he's your
excited
number
about
one
for
guy.
all of it. And then I see, I'm thinking, okay, Rogue Squadron, you know,
Hmm.
but could they see something of him in that? But
Flashbacks are always a thing. I think
yeah.
here's the thing. I mean, if you read, again, reading, like even in The Empire Strikes Back from a certain point of view, 40 stories, there are a lot of pilots, of course, that are no longer with us in the timeline in the sequel area. Well,
Yeah.
some are, but not all of them. They really look up to Luke. Luke is their idol. Luke is the
Mhm.
hero they all want to be and strive to
Right.
be.
Right.
Then you also get the same pilots looking up to Leia in the same way, only just as a leader, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So the Skywalkers in general, uh, no pun, Leia and Luke are really highly looked up to in
Yeah.
from these people in the rebellion and the resistance. And I don't think just because they're no longer alive that that's going to fade. I
Yeah.
think you're going to hear his name. You're going to
Well,
possibly get flashbacks. Oh
name
yeah,
dropping is not the same as
I know,
physically
but
there.
you look at it this way. Did I get my Anakin at all throughout the sequels?
No.
I had a voice. I didn't get him.
Yeah, you're
And I
right.
had to be okay with that. Now we just switch roles, you and I.
Fine. I'll be
Let me have my
okay with
Hayden for a little bit, just a little
tomorrow.
bit.
I'll I'll be okay with it tomorrow.
Here's my thing. We're only getting 6 episodes of Kenobi.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
Hayden really going to be in all 6? Probably not. I'll be lucky if he's in half of it, but I'll
yeah.
take it.
Take it. Take a little
And
bit.
here's some food for
Uh,
thought. You ready for this one? I think I told you
yeah,
this,
okay.
that Rosario Dawson, when she went to acting school,
Yeah.
she met a fellow actor there. Guess who that person is?
It was Hayden.
Hayden Christensen. They are actually very good friends.
Ooh,
Um,
cool.
wouldn't it be fantastic to somehow get a flashback of him and her together in the Ahsoka series? Why not use that chemistry? They know each other.
What if that's
They've,
already in
you
the
know, they
plans?
went to school
And
together.
here's the deal, because I don't know, people are always picking on they're picking about her Leku not being the same length, and I'm like, "Jeez."
She can't do what she does with a
I
big
mean, holy
headpiece.
cow, we're flipping around. Yeah, I
Right. I
mean,
mean, I think that is why they did what they did. It
yeah, it
is.
is. So, it it it's okay, you
Well,
guys. Okay.
think about this too. When you watch the first season of The Mandalorian and you
Yeah.
get your Twi'leks in that one episode, theirs
Mhm.
aren't that long either. They're short, but they have to move around and do all these things and stunts. That's why they're like
They're
right about
doing
here.
practical effects for a lot of these shows, which is,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I think is pretty cool.
Yep.
So, yeah. Yes, they
So
probably could have animated them onto her, but
it wouldn't look as real.
probably not in the budget either,
Oh,
I mean,
probably not. You're
uh,
right. Again, thank goodness for the volume because they probably wouldn't be able to go to as many spots that they have
yeah, well,
because the volume allows them to do that.
the last few shows looked like real locations to me.
I know, but they weren't.
Well, they
They
weren't?
were all
All of them?
they
I
were all
I'm
on set.
gosh, they looked like real.
Well, because I know the episode again, because it's in the Vanity Fair article, the episode that Dave Filoni did, that was on set, and the imagery for it's called Corvu, right? Am I saying that right?
The
The Corvu, the planet. Am I saying that right, or is it
Earth?
Corvax? Corvu,
Corvus.
Corvus. I was
Yeah.
close. Anyway, all these names. I'll get better eventually. Just there's so much. But anyway, the actual planet looking burnt and destroyed was based on what he's been going through in California with all the fires.
Mm.
So that's why he used that.
Well, yeah.
So he put some real world spin on things, which that's what George would do. So,
Oh, yeah.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I mean, this new tech that they have allows them to do so much. And I do believe they're going to use that for these Disney
Other
Plus
shows.
series like Kenobi
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
I want to say Rogue One, Andor series. So I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Which was
And the
cool
Laku was fine.
there.
That's
Yeah.
right.
It's all cool. It's all so cool.
All of it. I mean, we have a lot of Star Wars to talk about, and it's not
Yeah.
going away anytime soon. So, and now we definitely have a new film to look forward to, which means Celebration 2022 will be a year before Rogue Squadrons happens. So we're going to get a
Oh, that's
trailer drop
coming out in
at that
2023?
celebration.
Did
The
it say
movie comes out in
2023
23.
for that?
Celebration is 22,
Oh. Yay. Trailer
which
at
means Patty will
Celebration.
probably be in attendance. Hey.
Yay.
Sorry, very excited.
I know.
That's
Hopefully
awesome.
I think I can attend.
I hope
Yeah.
this
We
is
got
what we're shooting
time.
for. We've got time.
We've got time.
Yep. Well, what do you think? You think we're good, or is there
I
anything
think
you want to
we're good.
address before?
I
Anything
think
else?
we've addressed it all. I know that we have a not live recorded episode of Kanata's Castle coming out the beginning of next week.
Okay.
And although this one is live and will be easy for people to just pop to to watch. It will eventually go to the podcast feed.
Oh yeah.
Other than that, yeah, then we have the holidays to get through, and then we'll be
Yes.
back. So
I'm looking forward to just getting them over with. I know it sounds horrible, but I I've been too busy. But no, I
yeah,
shouldn't say it like that. I should be, as of this week, I should be good to go. I have a few little stocking stuffers to get and wrap for the kids. And I say that, and yet my kids are grown. They're not like little anymore. So, but
I
I
still
got to
do
get that done.
things for mine too, just because it's fun.
Yeah.
It's full of stupid um, toys and stuff. I go to the dollar store and just get stupid stuff. Just and they play with it, and
Well, my youngest is 18 and he made a big to do last year how he got too much practical stuff. He didn't get enough fun stuff. And he actually was like upset by it. And I'm like, wow, spoiled much? I mean, I love my kids, but it just goes to show you that I've really given them a lot and they're just very used to it. So I said, well, what do you want this year? I go, speak now or forever, hold your peace, because he's
yeah.
starting up his trade school the 15th, as long as we
Mhm.
don't move into the red zone due to COVID. And so he needs, um, composite boots. Those aren't cheap. You're looking at $150, $200, which we bought for him. So I said, what do you want? So he did mention he wanted a Lego set, which I haven't bought him in a few years because I figured, well, he's a big guy now. He's not this little boy, but he wanted the Razor Crest. And of course, it's
Cool.
funny because after that episode when it blew up and he looked at me, I go, "You
I'm
still want
like,
that Lego set?"
"Ah."
And he's like, "Well, yeah." I go, "But it doesn't exist anymore."
Mm.
But anyway, but I did get him a couple of fun things because I felt bad, and I do miss buying him everything Star Wars because
That's the stuff.
he was the guy that
Yeah.
watched it and loved it, and he knows he's opposite of me. I'm a character driven fan. He's likes
He knows the
all
ships
the
and the
all the ships,
soldiers
all like
and
that
yeah.
hard
Yeah.
artillery stuff. You know
Guns.
what I mean?
Yeah.
That's his. So
Yeah.
he'll help me like, well, what's that thing? And he'll tell me. So
Oh,
yeah. So we
oh, the
balance
state
really well.
charge. Yeah, that's all gone, but people wanted that.
Yeah,
Fitmatic was still
that's
making
true. But I just thought it
I
was
was
fun. Like, you still want
Baba.
that?
Said
It's
Baba.
just not there. But anyway, so yeah, it'll be fun. But
Yeah.
yeah, if we have nothing else to discuss, I guess we can close out then.
Good. I think that the guys aren't gonna join us, but that's okay.
That's
We'll
okay.
definitely
They
try
were
to do it. They were
yeah, they
already
were doing their
recording.
Mandalorian episode for Idiots Array
Yeah.
today. So
Yeah.
just it didn't work out for us in the time schedule. So it is what it is. But
Yeah.
anyway, as always, if you have any comments or feedback for us or just questions, anything, email us at kanata's.castlefeedback@gmail.com. You can always interact with us on Twitter at Castle Kanata, Facebook, Instagram at Kanata's Castle Podcast. Of course, listen to us wherever you catch your pods, and we're now on Amazon Music, and that's free. So check us out there. As always, please subscribe to our Pitiful Little Band Network. We're on YouTube. Obviously, you do know that because you're watching us. We're also on Twitter and Facebook. Follow Idiots Array. They're on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram as well. Of course, us, Kanata's Castle. We're everywhere also. And Tarkin's Top Shelf on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as well. If you want to say hi to me, best place is on Twitter at YouAreAngelB or my Instagram, because that's where I'm posting all my holiday cookies. And that's YouAreAngelB too as well.
Mhm.
Where can they find you, Devin?
Always at Red 5 Mom, and, thank you, Fatmatic, for thanking
Thank
us,
you.
one, chat room visitor today. It
I'll
was nice of
take
you to
it.
stick around through the whole show, yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so
Thank you.
much.
And,
Well,
we
Merry
did it.
Christmas, everybody. We did it. We did the show. Have a great holiday, and, like I said, we'll have, the previous episode of Kanata's Castle will be up, beginning of next week, and,
Okay.
we'll see you sometime not too long after the holidays.
Yeah, we'll
We'll
work it
see
out.
you
We'll
in
get out
time.
there.
Work it out. We'll be there. So y'all have a happy holiday, and may the force be with you.
May the force be with you.
Okay, ending the broadcast.